Okay, Hari Om. As requested, I announce the course is inaugurated and we are starting the first session of the course. I am very happy to welcome all of you because you are interested to learn something about Bhagavad-Gita. I'll be explaining some things as a background of Bhagavad-Gita. Actually, the name is Srimad Bhagavad-Gita because there are many Gitas are there in Sanskrit. So we are learning the Srimad Bhagavad-Gita. It is a text of 700 slokas. And that is a philosophy, not only religious, but it is a philosophy of yoga lifestyle, we can say. This word has become very popular, yoga lifestyle. Most of the people are talking about yoga lifestyle, particularly the medical field, because the present lifestyle is very strenuous, very fast, very competitive, that overloads our body-mind system and creates so many diseases. To avoid these diseases, medicines are working to certain limit. Medicines can control the disease, but not cure the disease. And for curing the disease, all doctors recommend to change the lifestyle from present strenuous lifestyle to yoga lifestyle. What is explained in yoga? But what is yoga lifestyle? Everything is not perfectly clear. But I can say what is explained in Bhagavad Gita is yoga lifestyle. And that is why I am happy to see you for understanding this Bhagavad Gita, to understanding the yoga lifestyle. Because it is a philosophy, of course, but philosophy is connected with practical also. Yoga we know, particularly the Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga, Yama, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. So that is the action plan, we can say, for yoga lifestyle. And Bhagavad Gita is a philosophy of yoga lifestyle. The text is in Sanskrit language. And Sanskrit is a very ancient language of India. Because Bhagavad Gita is written and explained, and it is actually the history. So this is written and explained about 5,500 years back. So long. In those periods, there was only one language in India, Sanskrit. Everybody was speaking in Sanskrit. There is no other language. But slowly, some other languages are developed. Now we have got many languages in India. Regional languages are there. But all of them are originated from Sanskrit. So all shlokas, that means all the explanation in Bhagavad Gita is in Sanskrit. Now the shloka is a stanza. It contains 2 lines. And this particularly Bhagavad Gita, it has got specific rules of that, how to form this shloka. Most of the slokas have got 16 letters in every line. Very particular, particularly 8 and 8. 8 lines, 8 letters, half line, 8 letters, another half line. The total 16 letters in one line. And likewise, there are 2 lines per shloka. So it is called shloka only. So likewise, there are 700 shlokas. That means 1400 lines. Now, this is a philosophy, of course. But this is not a separate text, I can say. Presently, we are using Bhagavad Gita as a separate text. Everywhere it is used. Now also we are studying that only. But actually, Bhagavad Gita is a part of huge text called Mahabharata. And Mahabharata is a history of about 4 generations. And everybody is connected for these generations also. And this Mahabharata is also written about 5,500 years back. And it contains 1 lakh slokas, that means 100,000 slokas. Just imagine 100,000 slokas, all in Sanskrit and designed in a particular way, as I explained. 16 words per line. So fantastic arrangement is there. Now it contains a total philosophy of life. Now this is a text of philosophy. When previously in Indian culture, every philosophy was connected with stories. Because if there is only philosophy in the book, hardly anybody will go through that. But if you say there is a story, then everybody is interested to listen. Everybody is interested to read. Because everybody likes stories. So the total Mahabharata is written in the form of a story. But of course, it is not only imagination, it is the actual history which has happened in India. And particularly this Mahabharata story is around the kingdom of Hastinapur. And Hastinapur is nothing but Delhi at present. So that Delhi, city of Delhi was there. It was called Hastinapur. And there was a big kingdom connected with that. And the story is for that kingdom only. So to start with, I will explain some important aspects of the story in few lectures. And the story will come to the point of Bhagvadgeeta. And then we'll discuss each and everything as explained in Bhagvadgeeta. The story is interested. Of course, there are stories and there are many sub-stories also. Maybe thousands of stories are there. And that is all history actually. That is definitely you must keep in mind that this is a history. This has happened already. Now this Bhagavad Gita and this Mahabharata written by Maharshi Vyasa. He was a person who has written all these things. He has written so many things of different philosophies also. Vedas, Puranas. I don't want to go in detail of that, but that is also written and composed by Maharshi Vyasa. We can't imagine his brilliance. He's so brilliant. How to compose all these things and mention the different philosophies in different levels in the stories. Very surprising, definitely, beyond our imagination. So let us start the story of Mahabharata. Of course, the story also contains, as I told you, of many generations. But I will start the story of Bhishma. Because Bhishma is we can say, hero of this. He's continuously there from the beginning of the Mahabharata to the end of Mahabharata. He has left his body when his age was 120 years during the war. Because there was a big war between Kauravas and Pandavas. At the condition of starting of the war, the Bhagavad Gita was explained by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. So this Bhishma was there also. So he was continuously assisting to run the kingdom of Hastinapur. Now, let us start from certain point. The king of Hastinapur, now Delhi, named Shantanu. Now, there are many parties. It's very difficult to remember the names and their relations and all that. But we must remember, because all these 4 generations, these things are important. So the king was named as a Shantanu. He married with Princess Ganga and got the son. It's called Bhishma. So Bhishma, we can say the pioneer of Bhagavad Gita. He was the son of Shantanu and Ganga. So Bhishma is called Gangeya also, son of Ganga. But after the birth of Bhishma, Ganga left Shantanu. There are still many stories. I don't want to go in detail. She left. And Shantanu was a very big king of the very big kingdom also. No problem. So Bhishma has developed. And Bhishma was the real successor of the kingdom of Shantanu. So he was the only son. When Bhishma was about 15, 16 years old, another story has happened. There was one fisherman called Vishwas, carrying out his duties. And this viewer, that fisherman, has got the daughter. And she was very, very beautiful. So once upon a time, that King Shantanu came in contact with that daughter. She is called Satyavati or Matsyagandha. There are two names. So he fall in love with Satyavati because of her beauty and all. Actually, at that time, his first son, Shantanu, his first son, Bhishma, was about 15, 16 years old. So he came to know, Bhishma came to know that his father wanted to marry with Satyavati. But just see how the relations have developed. So the Shantanu was curious how to approach. Because he was a very big king and Beaver was very, very fisherman only. So how we can contact that? This fisherman, previously the father of the girl is to be contacted before marriage. So definitely when Bhishma came to know, he approached that Beaver, the fisherman. And he told that you see, my father is the king of this Hastinapur and he wants to marry with your girl, Satyavati. The fisherman has become very happy. Oh, the king is going to marry with my girl. He can develop by anything. But he knows that king is approaching me. So he has put some condition. He says, yes, I can allow, but I got some conditions for this marriage. Bhishma has asked, what are your conditions? That Dhivar, the father of Satyavati, he told that, you see, you are the successor of the kingdom. Now, your father is going to marry with Satyavati. They will get some sons, but you are the eldest one, so you will be the successor of the kingdom. Bhishma say, okay, that's right. Dhivar say, no. I wish that the son of the Satyavati must become a king and not yourself. A very strange condition was there. Previously, these kings were having many wives and all that, so that was common for that. But as the Bhishma was the real successor of the kingdom, now this viewer is asking, you sacrifice your kingdom. You can't become a king. My son of my Satyavati will become a king. Then Bhishma say, okay. He agreed because he was very fond of your father. He said, father wants to marry. This condition is there, so I will accept. So he has declared that I will not be a king of the kingdom. Whatever the son from the Satyavati will come, he will become a king, the king of the kingdom. He has assured that Dhivar, that fisherman. The fisherman was very happy. He agreed. He said he had permitted. And Shantanu has married with Satyavati. And they started their married life also. Along with Bhishma also was there in palace, no problem. Now Satyavati and Shantanu, that they got two children, Chitrangad and Vichitravirya. Now all these names are very critical because these are very old names. So these two sons were there, Satyavati. Now these sons, when they become young enough to control the total kingdom, Shantanu, of course, Bhishma and Shantanu, with their consent, they have made the Chitrangad as king. But after a few years, the Chitrangad was killed in some war. So then again, Vichitravirya was there. So he was become a king. And Bhishma was supporting that. Bhishma was a very brilliant and strong warrior also. He knows so many things. So many things are there for that. So he was totally supporting. Actually, he was running the kingdom. But as a king, Vichitravirya was there. And during that, Shantanu has left the kingdom also. So Vichitravirya was king. Bhishma was taking care of him. And now the question of marriage for the Vichitravirya. So it has to be decided by Bhishma only. Of course, Bhishma was the elder brother of Vichitravirya. But you see, Bhishma now, during that period, as a great warrior, we can say he kidnapped 3 daughters of King Kashi. Because Kashi Raj, king of Kashi, was having also one kingdom. And his 3 girls, Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika. So Bhishma has kidnapped them. And in those periods, this was legal because this one has to fight to kidnap. Not open thing was there. And Bhishma was very great warrior. So definitely he has got some fights with those people and all that. And then King Kashi also has accepted. Say, okay, you take these 3 girls. So Bhishma has brought 3 daughters of Kashi, King Kashi, to his Hastinapur for the marriage of Vichitravirya. But the first daughter, Amba, he requested Bhishma that I got in love with another king, Shalva, and I want to marry with him only. You please send me back. So Bhishma has brought 3 daughters, and for only one Vichitravirya was there. So he said, okay, you can go back. So this Amba, she went back to King Shalva. But as she was kidnapped by Bhishma, Shalva was not ready to accept. So she was alone. He was left Bhishma and his brother Vichitravirya one side. Other side, Shalva was also not accepting him. So she has become very frustrated. And she has gone for some tapa, praying the Lord Shiva. Very years together. So Lord Shiva has met her and told her, yes, I'm very happy for your prayer. So what is your intention? She told that I have been frustrated because of Bhishma only, because he kidnapped her and sent back. Shalva is not accepting. So her life was totally disturbed. So I want to be a cause for the death of Bhishma. That was her request. And then Lord Shiva said, okay, you can become a cause for the death of Bhishma, but not in this life. For that, you have to take another life. So your next life will be a great warrior, male warrior. And when you will become a great warrior, then you will become a cause for the death of Bhishma. Now, this story you must remember, because the Mahabharata story continued, the next generation and all that. That time again, this Amba, her name will be Shikhandi in the next birth. That she has become a cause for death of Bhishma also. Anyway, again we'll come back to the story that Ambika and Ambalika. These two daughters, they married with Vichitravirya. But Vichitravirya also has died at his early age. In Vichitravirya also there is no son. So who is the successor for the kingdom? That was the problem. Because Bhishma has already declared that he will not become a king. And this Chitrangad also not there, Vichitravirya also not there now. There is no son also. Who will be the successor? That was the problem. So in that case, Satyavati called Vyasa. Because Vyas was the son of Satyavati before marriage. The Vyas who has written all this Mahabharata and all this philosophy. So he came there. And Satyavati requested Vyasa for conception of Ambika and Ambalika, so that they will get some son that will be the successor of the kingdom. And this was ethically accepted by the religion of the king in those periods. So now the son of Ambika was Dhritarashtra. But he was totally blind by birth. But of course, afterwards, now history is going very fast. Afterwards, he married with the princess Gandhari, daughter of the king Gandhar. But again, you can see what the relations in between. Gandhari knows that her husband Dhritarashtra is blind from the birth. So she also covered her eyes with a silk strip forever and behaved like a blind lady throughout her life. A fantastic decision and fantastic action also. She never opened the strip. She opened it once before the war. That is another story. But because of her husband is blind, she also made herself blind. And both of them were behaving as a blind in the palace. Now that Gandhari was pregnant, but she could not deliver for 2 years. So she aborted herself because of the frustration. And this thing came to know the Vyasa. Vyasa also came to know this thing. So Vyasa told her to preserve the embryo and prepare 100 earthen pots filled with pure ghee. And by the time Vyasa came over there, then he made the 100 parts of that embryo and put one in those 100 pots filled with ghee. And after a sufficient period, the 100 sons were born from these 100 pots after due period. These are the 100 Kauravas. Now, this is something like the test tube baby, what we are experiencing nowadays. Some technique, the details are not explained in Mahabharata, but the outcome is there. Something like test tube baby or some cells and all that. Some technique might have been there. We don't know exactly. But these 100 sons are generated from these 100 pots. And these are the 100 Kauravas, and Duryodhan being the oldest. So important, chief person. Actually, this kingdom was very big. So Dhritarashtra was the successor of the kingdom. But as he was blind, he could not become the king. So there was son of Ambika. He was called Pandu. He was made king of Hastinapur. Dhritarashtra could not become a king. Of course, he was staying in same palace all together, but because of it, blind person cannot become a king. That was the ethics in those periods. That has to be followed. So Dhritarashtra could not become a king. Similarly, Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhan, he also could not become a king. So there was frustration between those Dhritarashtra and his all 100 sons. Other side, the son of Ambika was Pandu, and he was made the king of Hastinapur. Pandu married with two princesses, Kunti and Madri. And the Pandavas are the sons of Pandu and Kunti and Madri. Let us see for this. Yudhishthir, Bhim, and Arjun. These were the sons of Kunti. Three. These are the main parts. These are called Pandavas. The three of them were sons of the Kunti. Yudhishthir, Bhim, and Arjun. And now Nakul and Sahadev, they were the sons from Madri. So all these five sons, these are the sons of Pandu. So they are called Pandav. And son of the Dhritarashtra, 100, they are called Kauravas. So these are the main two parties of this total Mahabharata. As I told you, the kingdom of Hastinapur was very big, and Dhritarashtra was successor as per the age, because he was elder. But he cannot become king because he was blind. This situation we must remember, because this situation is the base of the war, and war is the base of Bhagvadgeeta. So Pandu was declared as king, but Pandu also had died after a few years. So his son Yudhishthir was not so young to become king. So what to do? There must be the king for the kingdom. That is why Dhritarashtra was declared as a king, but temporary. Now this total situation is very critical. This we must remember. So this is a cause for the further incidences. So Dhritarashtra was declared as a king for temporary purpose till the Yudhishthir becomes eligible for king by age. This was a basic situation. Now Duryodhan, the son of Dhritarashtra, wanted to be a king after his father. But the members of the parliament decided that Yudhishthir only can become a king. And now this is the root cause of the struggle between Kauravas and Pandavas. The whole situation we must remember perfectly. And that is why there was a struggle started between Kauravas and Pandavas during their early age also. So there was a constant struggle between Duryodhan with his 99 brothers, Kauravas, and Yudhishthir with his 4 brothers, Pandavas, since their childhood. Now let us stop here because this story is continued. I will be continuing the story, and the story will be coming to the point where the Bhagavad Gita is explained by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. So, time being for today's, I will stop here. Next time again we'll continue from this point. Hari Om.